We made it. I guess I was wrong. There was no danger at all.
What's up, everyone? It's Dan with Main Deck, and here today is Jason from the Galactic Ambition podcast. How's it going, Jason?
It's going really well. I wonder what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, it's a big mystery. Everyone who clicked on the video has no idea.
No idea.
We have our exclusive spoiler for Set 3, Twilight of the Republic, and I already kind of teased it, so let's just put the card up there, Jason, and let's talk about it. We are spoiling Captain Typho protecting the Senator. Captain Typho is a 3-cost Vigilance and Heroism unit, 2/4 Naboo Republic Trooper. And Captain Typho has, when played / on attack, give a unit Sentinel for this phase. I am so excited about this character because I love these minor characters from the prequel trilogies. Typho is a super cool dude. You know he's cool because he's got an eye patch.
That's where I went immediately when you first showed me the card. I was like, he's got an eye patch. This guy's gotta be cool, right?
Yes, he was introduced actually in episode 2. Panaka was the head of security in episode 1. And I don't know why. I never looked into it, but Panaka, the actor who played Panaka, or whatever, Panaka didn't come back in episode 2. So they have Typho, who's Panaka's nephew. And he is still protecting the Senator. He will protect the Queen Amidala, Senator Amidala, over anything else in the world. And he shows up from episode 2 through the Clone Wars in episode 3 as well. And he's just this stoic dude who is there to protect. And Jason, that's what he does.
Oh, that's good to know.
Look at that. What did you think of when you first saw Typho? What did you think of his effects, his stats, everything?
Like right out the gate, I saw a stat line. Like the first thing I usually gravitated to as a player that's like aggressive and all that. I was like, 2/4 for 3 doesn't feel great on rate. But then like we have an ability and it's super solid. The fact that this card has when played, give a unit Sentinel, I think for me pushes it into this kind of playable category. If this card was when on attack, give a unit Sentinel, I really don't think it's great. I feel like it would probably be. I really don't see decks that would make this super viable. It was an attack trigger, but the fact that we get value immediately when we play it is super great. So right out the gate, it's got a lot of applications. And I think you and I in our immediate discussions kind of like hit the nail on the head and kind of take the lead on it. It's the fact that it gives a unit Sentinel for this phase. And like immediately in my brain, I'm like, sweet, I could give my awesome unit here Sentinel and it's going to sponge up all this damage. But what if we gave one of our opponent's unit Sentinel for the phase?
Yeah, it's a flexible ability. I mean, right off the gate, you can compare this to Cloud City Wingard right away, which is not really a super playable card in Constructed now, especially with Set 2 in the mix here. Nobody's really playing Wingard. But Wingard is purely just a 3-cost 2/4 with Sentinel. Instead, here we have the ability to not only give your better units Sentinel, give your shielded units Sentinel when played or on attack, but as you were starting to get at there, sometimes the opponent will put down a Sentinel to protect their other units in play, and you can instead give the unit you want to attack that turn Sentinel. So then now you can just have everyone attack the new unit gave Sentinel instead and ignore the thing they actually wanted you to attack, which is a sort of niche but really clutch interaction.
Yeah, it's really exciting that we could kind of mess with our opponent's units' game plans. Like, obviously, they stick a Sentinel unit. They feel really confident they're going to protect their weenie they're hiding or one of their troublesome units that maybe you have a couple point of damage left to get off the board. Well, now you give it Sentinel, and now you freely get to be like, okay, well, I'm still going to hit that guy anyway. We know that blue is kind of like got the removal and everything else, but it's nice to almost have this also another pseudo trick to get around Sentinels and stuff like that. Maybe you don't have the removal spell, but you want to get that last point of damage or 2 points of damage on a unit. That's just, that they're not going to freely run into one of your guys and that have been kind of finagling you, hiding behind another Sentinel unit. So there's really sweet applications there. And like I said, the fact that this does it on play gives it so much more legs. and makes it kind of a viable card. Like Cloud Wingard, like no one's going to play Cloud Wingard anymore. In set 1, you were seeing that card. Like it was reasonable to maybe see a copy because it was such like
a little bit.
It was fine. It was a good rate and is a Sentinel unit and it deployed early, so it could kind of just gum up the board. This kind of is that plus, and it just gets it. And if you don't end up attacking with it, you'll still get an application of it, which I think makes it a consideration of playing constructed.
I think it's, we talk a lot about the niche scenario where you're sentineling your opponent's units. I think the most common way when people do play Typho that you'll see him interacting with the board is dropping, giving something, you put down a crafty smuggler or something with shielded, and you want to, you give that Sentinel, so now it's a pretty annoying thing to walk into. Doing that then protects Typho so that the next turn he's hopefully still there and can do it again, and you can start to maybe get in the sequence where you can start dropping stronger units later down the curve. And as long as Typho is able to like score an attack, you take initiative, you attack and give something Sentinel, you can start to chain up stronger and stronger Sentinels, right? That the opponent just continues to have trouble getting through, or they're trading really favorably into your opponent's units as the game goes on. I can see him being pretty obnoxious. I also can see him getting answered pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also why this guy's at uncommon, right? This guy is not meant to be a bomb, but I already see myself playing it and trying to get like a cargo juggernaut, and then giving that Sentinel, which already cargo juggernaut's kind of a house and probably one of my favorite when I'm playing like mono blue. I just have to play that card. It's one of my favorite, probably in my top 10 of the game, just because it's just so simple and it's very effective. So imagine like you're already gaining a bunch of health back on your base from that, and they're like, cool, it has a shield and now it has Sentinel. So like you said, if you can kind of work your way up to stronger units and do stuff like that, it's really cool. And also another thing that I think we need to note, that it doesn't care about what arena the unit's in, which I think is actually super relevant as well.
That's actually really important. That's a great thing to point out, because sometimes we get gummed up in one arena and then the opponent will like drop a bomb in space. You go, I don't know what to do now. But being able to drop anything and go, well, you got to attack into this now, can buy you some really critical time. The big problem that people will face is just the whole idea of action expansion, which is usually a pretty negative thing. The fact that you have to get an attack off with Typho to set the Sentinel up. So you can't just like play the thing and it immediately impacts with Sentinel. You have to play something in space and then attack with Typho. He has to be alive and then give that thing Sentinel. It takes a couple actions to start to like pump the brakes on the opponent.
Right.
Which is where, like you said, this is an uncommon right? We're not looking at the legendary that you're looking for. I mean, I think Captain Typho should have been a legendary because to me, he's got a legendary eye patch. But he's not. He's got an uncommon eye patch, right?
Yeah,
and
I like that. I like that you also said stoic, and then it gave Sentinel as a keyword. Did you plan that? I meant to say that after you said it. You said he's kind of stoic. Okay, perfect. No, it's good.
Yeah, of course.
But
it works out perfectly.
Right, he's definitely. But to bring your point, he's definitely right where he would be in the rarity curve in terms of power for sure. Like he's right there. Like he has probably a little under the curve stat line nowadays, but the ability is strong enough to justify. But again, this guy's not meant to be a linchpin in your deck. It's definitely meant to be a supporting cast that if you can kind of cobble around it and build for 3 resources, you're getting a lot of value out of this card.
Yeah. Again, there are a bunch of plays that people will put together a turn 1 play of something with shielded. Again, like L337, also from Shadows of the Galaxy, which is just better crafty smuggler in heroism only. So you can totally go L337 turn 1 into Typho turn 2, give that thing Sentinel. Typho's probably living unless they're going to go out of their way to like open fire him right away or something. And at that point you can kind of, get that chain going and start to roll that into some pretty obnoxious stuff. And I think it's worth mentioning too, we've started to see some spoilers already of leaders and things in the set. And we have the leader ObiWan Kenobi. Yeah. Who will be shown here on screen too, who has a built-in ability to heal your units and has Sentinel when he's deployed as a unit. So this ability to heal your units obviously works really nicely in a deck where you're really trying to direct combat in one way or the other. And Typho is potentially a card you would consider playing in a deck like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's slotted really well. I think his perfect for his rarity, and I'm really looking forward to this card. I think it could definitely make a bit of an impact. How relevant are the keywords here, Dan? I meant to ask you that.
Yeah, so Naboo is not currently irrelevant.
Yeah,
keyword.
that's interesting.
I'm definitely curious about it. I was going to mention this too. As far as leaders are concerned, I don't know if we're going to get a Padme Amidala leader in this set. It wouldn't surprise me. I think that would be really cool. And what the team has been really good about doing is usually been making sure the units that fit flavorfully with the leader work really well in their deck.
Right.
So it wouldn't shock me if we see the Amidala leader spoiled and Typho is just like, you gotta play him in there because for some reason giving things Sentinel will, I don't know how that works, how that would work mechanically, but the Naboo keyword could be a part of that too. Amidala was always trying to take care of her home planet, and it could be that she cares for Naboo units. Maybe as like a side effect, she like pumps up Naboo units, so then Typho is now like insane plus whatever else she does.
Yeah, we don't
like
know.
That'd be cool. Republic, I'm sure we'll see some more of. We're seeing Separatist and Republic happening, and Trooper is one we've had since set 1 that has had a number of cards that have like called it out specifically, like Precision Fire. So Trooper is the most relevant currently.
Yeah.
Republic is the most likely to be relevant, and Naboo is just one. It's a wild card.
It's interesting that I think it's just interesting that it's on there, considering we've had nothing really to reference against it. We've seen it a few times, right? Like but not like, I don't know. It's I guess we'll see. We have plenty of spoilers left to come down the chain of the whole dang set, so.
We don't have like the Jawas don't have like Tatooine or whatever.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So that's weird. They could be slapping some of those keywords on planet keywords on other characters. Yeah.
But the fact that they decided to put it here does make me think like there was a design reason for doing that. At some point, they really wanted Typho to work with some other particular subset of cards.
And we might not even see it this set. We could see it down the line, because we already have so much design and so much in the pipes already that's already in the oven ready to go. So maybe it's just in time. I mentioned that because I was curious to see Naboo on the card. So I don't know. I guess we'll see.
But that is going to do it, I think, Jason, for our spoiler review of Captain Typho protecting the Senator. We're very excited. Want to give a huge shout out to Fantasy Flight Games for providing us this spoiler. We always greatly appreciate the opportunity to show you guys a new card and talk about it a little bit. We want to hear what you guys think about Captain Typho. Let us know in the comments down below. What do you think of this uncommon? Okay, is this like a bomb uncommon? Is this one you're going to be? We didn't talk about draft at all, but you drafting this guy, you play him sealed, or you're going to try and figure out some constructed stuff. And you know what? It happens a lot. Maybe as soon as we release this, they'll have spoiled an Amidala leader or something. So let us know if there's anything that we didn't know when we recorded this, and let everyone know in the comments down below how Typho is going to be changing the game entirely, at least with that beautiful eye patch of his.
It is pretty sick.
It is sick. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that one, and we'll see you all in the next one.
Bye.